Dear viewers, Scamsbreaking.com takes full responsibility of this program in all respects of law. The present expose is made possible after extensive legal and forensic investigation supported with lawful evidence duly submitted to Indian law enforcement agencies like CBI, ED, SFIO and many others. You are requested to be a part of our mission to expose 20 most heinous scamster families of India and to get rid of these termites and pass the clear message that crime never pays.
"20 Most Heinous Scamster Families of India." First episode, Bad Brothers of Kanoria. Dear viewers, here we are with the most exciting and exclusive expose of the year 2020. This year has already been very tough for all of us. Sadly, there are a few in the bow who never stop to make it tougher for the common man. They believe that when the situation is bad in the country, they must make it worse and take personal advantage. What a disgrace to humanity and the nation. Scamsbreaking.com has dared to expose a criminal misappropriation of the public money more than 16,000 crores, which is more than 200 million US dollar. First of all, we would like to announce that this exclusive expose is duly supported with indefeasible and substantive documentary evidence duly admissible before any honorable court of law, which we have already submitted to the Indian law enforcement agencies. Not only that, a lawful and fair opportunity was also given to the accused Kanoria brothers to place their parts, but feeling themselves above the law, they didn't come with proper reply. What's the new scam? A common man deposits his hard-earned money in the bank with confidence and trust. He feels secured and satisfied that his money is in the safe hands. But is it? Do we really know what happens with our bank money? We wish there were a GPS to track our money as well. It's absolutely necessary for us to know how these financial institutions use our money without our knowledge or consent. Axis Bank is the worst and most heinous example of this case, who blindly kept on giving money after money, more than 45,000 crores, merely on the basis of alleged future receivables and fake lending to fraudulent and fictitious borrowers. This scam is an alarm. Wake up as it rings. Financial institutions like Axis Bank, Power Finance Corporation, REC Limited and some other have immorally and unethically transferred the public money into some of the criminal pockets. The scammers of the present fraud are truly the venomous assassins of India's economy. When it comes to helping the poor, the middle class or the farmers, then our banks become very professional and take almost all the belongings as mortgage. But when big businessmen approach them, our banks come drooling, desperate to give away the public money without strong verification and security. Where do their policies and work ethics disappear? If your banks love charity so much, then why don't they do it with their own money? The Kanoria brothers scam. This fraud of more than 16,000 crore rupees is yet another example of the malfunctioning of Indian banks. Unfortunately, the prestigious Reserve Bank of India is seen as a toothless tiger, unable to roar against the enemy of India's economy. For better comprehension, we shall go step by step so that every common man is aware of these new fraudsters in the market, what happens with the public money, how the banks misuse our capital and our trust. Who are the Kanoria brothers? The Kanoria brothers is a Kolkata-based business family. Kolkata is the capital of West Bengal, India. The main players of the Kanoria family are Hari Prasad Kanoria, father; Hemant Kanoria, son; Sunil Kanoria, son; Sujit Kanoria, son; Raghav Raj Kanoria, son of Hemant Kanoria. These 5 masterminds mentioned above have succeeded in their criminal activities with the help of approximately 20 other accomplices who participated actively in the fraudulent game of embezzlement of public funds by the Kanoria brothers. What is their business? Let's understand what kind of business this family runs and what is their reach. The Kanoria family runs 3 principal businesses: SREI Infrastructure Finance Limited, SIFL, SREI Equipment Finance Limited, SEFL, and India Power Corporation Limited, IPCL. The SREI entities are funded by the banks and other financial institutions, whereas IPCL is funded by the power funding institutions of Government of India such as Power Finance Corporation, REC Limited. What did they do? The Kanoria brothers are desperately engaged in the criminal diversion of the public money. Public money, siphoned off the funds through shell entities. They are cheating on the banks and on the government authorities, which is punishable under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Prevention of Corruption Act, Black Money and the Imposition of Tax Act, the Income Tax Act, Companies Act, SEBI Act and various other acts and regulations imposed by the RBI. We will explain in detail their modus operandi and you will realize how blind they think we and the Indian law enforcement agencies are. The Kanoria brothers created a criminal purpose entity to dissemble their true intentions and actions in the form of a trust, and they named it the Power Trust. This Power Trust was another step to weaken the country's economy, thereby strengthening these scammers' roots in the game and defraud the authorities as well as the public of thousands of crores of Indian rupees. This fast, comfortable, extra-large personal vehicle, the Power Trust, with tinted glass, driven by the Kanoria brothers, was used to carry out their criminal activities with the intention of hoodwinking the country. They claimed that it's a public trust, but is it really? The Power Trust reveals the involvement of some other players in the game, namely Trustee Deepak Rudra, who is also the director of IPCL, Trustee Ajay Kumar Agarwal, who is the statutory auditor for SREI Group of Companies and also the director of Shrishti Infrastructure Development Limited, a SRE promoted entity. Trustee Shaunik Mitra, who is one of a lawyer by profession and admittedly represents SREI company before various courts of law. These 3 new characters also have an important role to play in this series of crime. This Power Trust was claimed by the Kanoria brothers as a public trust, having an independent board of trustees, but the reality says otherwise. This bogus entity is run by the agents and employees of the Kanoria brothers. This criminal purposes vehicle is used to transfer the money from one brother to another under the false pretexts. This Power Trust has been used for siphoning funds of rupees 3,500 crores between SREI and IPCL via different entities, and all the information has been criminally concealed from the official finance documents of the companies. Preposterous. Let's see how their criminal methodology works. This flowchart describes the deceiving style of the corrupt father-son duo, Hemant Kanoria and his son Raghav. This is the modus operandi followed by these robbers to siphon off the public money. It is now evident that the transactions between SREI and IPCL are related party transactions, RPTs, which have been criminally concealed and wrongfully violated the mandatory disclosure requirements. Furthermore, IPCL doesn't disclose any transaction with the Power Trust, shareholder of IPCL, in its financial reports. The money transferred to the Power Trust is shown as the transfer for CSR funds. Here's another flowchart to show you the trail of the criminal diversion executed by the Kanoria brothers of the public money lent by the banks. As per the financial statement of IPCL for the year of 2017-2018, the Kanoria brothers used India Power Corporation to siphon off rupees 557 crores of public money to Power Trust under the false pretext of investments, whereas the Power Trust received rupees 695 crores, and they further diverted off the same money to another Kanoria brothers shell entity. It is one thing to be clever and another thing to be illegal. The scammer family. So far, it was just a glimpse of this scammer family's functioning. They incessantly used different entities to siphon off the public money, and this time they used another entity, MS Bhaskar Silicon Private Limited, BSPL, as well as its subsidiary Environ Energy Corporation Limited. Both these companies are run by the agents of the Kanoria brothers. The interesting part here is that both these companies are so drowned in loss that they would fail to avail a loan of rupees 24. And shockingly, these entities were given a hefty amount of the public money, which is 2,400 crores Indian rupees. This shows the level of fraud carried out by this business family via SREI infrastructure. These both dummy borrowers further siphoned off rupees 1,000 crores to their Power Trust, and the remaining amount was diverted as per the whims and fancies of the Kanoria brothers. This criminal move starts from SREI infrastructure and ends at SREI infrastructure. Just when you think that this is the limit of their fraud, we present to you another eye-opening expose. Bharat Road Network Limited, BRNL, is another medium of siphoning off the public money. BRNL and its subsidiary are controlled and managed by the agents of SREI, that is, same common directors, company employees. How did they scam us here? SREI purchased the shares at a premium of rupees 195 per share when the actual trading rate in the market was rupees 25 to 40 per share. Once again, SREI duped us by making the finance of BRNL green and creating a reserve and surplus for BRNL. Then again, it siphoned off the whooping the public money 2,575 crores Indian rupees under the grab of fake loan to the worthless entities, and as a mortgage, they had only future cash inflow, which is off the record. What a move! BRNL further invested rupees 1,114 crores in its subsidiaries and concealed every penny of the public money under the label of further investment. The Kanoria master brothers were becoming experts in this fraudulent game, a game which is invented by them and is played on their whims and fancies. So convenient, isn't it? Here's one more example to shock you. Sahaj E-Village Limited and its subsidiary Rural Innovation Labs Private Limited are managed by the agents of SREI Group. This company has absolute negative net worth, but it was still given the public money of rupees 1,213 crores at the rate of 6% per annum against the benchmark rate of 18% per annum, solely on the basis of future cash inflow, which was nowhere to be witnessed. The Kanoria brothers cleverly generated a fake national loss of SREI of rupees 146 crores per annum, which is a direct injury to the public exchequer. They show this illegal transaction as inter-corporate deposits, solving a crime by committing another crime. This nefarious family has redefined the word greed with yet another shocking criminal move. This time they decided to loot the public money through another shell entity, that is, Swambhu Natural Resources Private Limited, which solely existed on papers. This fake company was projected as bankrupt in order to get rupees 895 crores from SREI, out of which rupees 346.3 crores was siphoned off to the Power Trust. At the time of loan repayment, the Kanoria brothers again funded back Swayambhu National Resources Private Limited with another chunk of the public money looted by one of their entities. This flowchart is a clear analysis of the complex and criminal web of payments created by the Kanoria brothers to siphon the public money from one SRE group of companies to another. A capital felony to hide another capital felony leads to numerous capital felonies. The rollout of more traps. The game of the Kanoria brothers develops further. This time they use Vara Technology Private Limited as the medium. The master brothers, through SREI, gave rupees 138 crores of the public money to Vara Technology Private Limited in the form of fixed assets amounting rupees 03.8 crores as per the balance sheet of Vara. This process of money lending and undertaking done by the Kanoria brothers violates the basic principles of RBI. The flowchart below depicts how the public money was siphoned off through Vara. You reap what you sow. Something similar is happening with these shameless fraudsters. The truth shall prevail. When you lie and don't get caught, either you start believing that your lies are true or that you're an expert. But always remember that a lie has a very short life and that the truth shall prevail. The Kanoria brothers were living under the impression that their game will never get exposed, but little did they know. Checkmate, says Scamsbreaking.com. The Kanoria brothers kept creating new dummy borrowers to gulp the public money as much as possible. The Kanoria brothers had given Vara a sum of rupees 395.1 crores, which was further distributed to other two SREI Alternative Trust. Please note that Vara is a loss-making company, and for the sake of mortgage, SREI ended up mortgaging the future inflow. This means that if a company is in loss, then its loan becomes a bad debt, which drags you down. The above flowchart shows that the Kanoria brothers have taken a kickback thanks to their SREI Alternative Trust. Nothing gets spared. Now comes in action our Seeker Reality Private Limited. This company received a sum of rupees 118 crores of the public money from SREI without any security. This is called unsecured lending. One must remember that Bharat Nirman Fund, promoted by the Kanoria brothers and SREI Infrastructure, was earlier a shareholder of ARPL. This explains the reason behind the unsecured lending from SREI to ARPL. This criminality portrays well the mockery of public money and of the government rules done by the Kanoria brothers without any hesitation. Did they rob this confidence from us as well? Well, it seems like that. It's like that they built a crime school from the public money and announced themselves as the principal and trustee and treated the public and law as kindergarten kids who are unaware of anything. Well-built shell entities. Victor Buildwell Private Limited is another shell company which exists only on papers. This company is promoted by the Kanoria brothers SREI Alternative Trust, SAT. This company is the most befitting example of window dressing by the Kanoria brothers. On papers, they show a possession of a non-existing land of worth rupees 17.3 crores in Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Following this style, the Kanoria brothers siphoned off rupees 70 crores of the public money in the account of the company. The Mojo Jojo. Activa Economic Zone Private Limited is another criminal canon of gutter worms, promoted by the Kanoria brothers, SREI, SAT and Bharat Nirman Fund. SREI gave this company rupees 2,207 crores of the public money, out of which rupees 240 crores was routed back to the Power Trust, criminal purpose vehicle under the umbrella term of intercorporate deposits. All this was kept off the records on the balance sheet to avoid all inquiry and allegations. The balance money was misused in other pretexts. You can easily understand how these evil genius siphoned off the public money through Ativo Economic Zone Private Limited. Ventures of loot. The company has no verified assets, exists only on papers, which makes it a shell entity, shows continuous loss on the balance sheet, and has negative net worth. iLog Ports Private Limited is such entity of the Kanoria brothers. This company shows a possession of land worth rupees 300 crores, but according to the field verification, that land is not worth more than 3 crores. The Kanoria brothers, through SREI, gave rupees 585 crores of the public money to iLog Ports Private Limited sans mortgage. This favor was done in expectation of the future cash inflows. But as we are now aware that the company is already in loss and it's almost non-operational, the only asset that the company has is the land, which is again deceiving in nature. Furthermore, to evade taxes, the company has misrepresented the financial statements with the help of window dressing and has capitalized all its expenses with zero revenue. This is an evidence in itself that the loan given by SREI to iLog Ports Private Limited was for personal benefit and another move to siphon off the public money. The termites of growth. The Kanoria brothers gradually became fearless and unstoppable. With money comes power and connections. That is, their political connections gave them a push to increase their appetite. Predicate Consultants Private Limited, PCPL, is SREI's promoted consultancy company incorporated in 2014 to carry on the business as financial consultants. One of the shareholders, Tapas Chakrabarti, key management personnel of SREI, was given a sum of rupees 375 crores of the public money, out of which a sum of rupees 138 crores kickbacked at the Power Trust. By this time, it's evident that the Kanoria brothers have created many shell entities as medium to siphon off the public money. These companies are basically criminal channels to put the siphoned money into criminally misappropriate end use. Expose of the tip of an iceberg. The Kanoria brothers know no finish line. They went on looting the public money up to 50,000 crores. These financial terrorists of the economy must be put behind bars. The negligence on the part of the banks gave a green signal to these bandits. Axis Bank has provided loans to SREI Infrastructure and Finance Limited of rupees 44,000 crores without any due diligence. In this case, a fraudster friend is also a fraudster. Providing loans without security and guarantee is also a fraud in itself, which is punishable. Axis Bank has given the entire loan on the basis of almost sham receivables, which also includes related party transactions. Further, it's already been revealed that SREI has duped stakeholders and investors as well as the government authorities to the tune of more than rupees 16,000 crores by borrowing funds and routing them back within the group companies. The company has misrepresented facts and figures in financial statements, which is an offense as per SEBI. As per OECD guidelines, due diligence is mandatory before sanctioning any loan, but Axis Bank took its name too seriously and said yes to give loans without due diligence, without verifying the receivables. Axis Bank intentionally or unintentionally has failed in verifying the details provided by SREI at the time of loan approval and granted the loan on favorable terms. If SREI is declared fraud, then Axis Bank won't be able to recover the funds from SREI, and all 44,000 crores Indian rupees, which is eventually public money, will be lost. Once again, the public will suffer because they have always been taken for granted in our country. A common man is made so common that his money is a piece of paper and a rich client's money is the real deal. This makes Axis Bank a part of this scandalous fraud of rupees 16,000 crores done by SREI, as it's the Axis Bank which granted money to SREI to rotate the funds within the group. If the bank would have performed its duties sincerely, then our money would still be ours. It wouldn't be wrong to say that where there's corruption, there's Indian politics involved. It's not an easy task to fool our government machinery until and unless the government officials are supporting the fraudsters at some level. The story of this criminal empire and their connection with the political masters or co-beneficiaries who have been protecting these termites from any kind of prosecution is also coming soon. Scamsbreaking.com possesses an authentic set of very strong legal evidence against them, which is enough to make them regret their wrongdoings. We are concerned about you, about your money, and therefore we need your support to bring this series of heinous crimes to an end. This report is just an expose of the tip of an iceberg. What you'll see next is even bigger and more shocking. Scamsbreaking.com has put in lots of efforts to turn the tide. So stay tuned as we will be back with another shocking expose of the Kanoria brothers and their criminal connections in Indian politics. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.